What's up everybody, my name is Valreth, aka Sinric, and today I'm going to be bringing you my 1.12.1 Warlock PvE guide. Intellect is obviously going to be your most important main stat. You gain about 1% crit per roughly 60 intellect points you get. Stamina, of course, would be your secondary main stat. The reason why stamina is important is because you're going to be life tapping a lot as a warlock, especially while raiding, and it's nice just to have a big pool so that you can tap it all away and get it healed back up in one big greater heal or something, you know. Spell damage is definitely your most important stat when it comes to increasing your damage. It's also important to remember that not every spell is going to benefit exactly the same from the spell damage. You really only need about 6% hit rating on your gear as a warlock because we have our talent suppression. Obviously, as you get more gear that has hit rating on it and you can't really control it, you can take points out of suppression to put them somewhere else. 16% hit is a good place to aim for though, so just aim for that and you'll be alright. As far as PvE in-game specs, I personally like SM Ruin. It has a lot of other aspects in it, like for PvP it has Siphon Life and such, and this really helps with just being able to do anything you want. You have to remember back in vanilla, you don't have multiple specs, so you would have to respec every time you want to do something. The other build that I would consider is DS Ruin, and this build is basically like a Shadow Mage. You just sit there and cast Shadow Bolt, Shadow Bolt, Shadow Bolt until you kill something. I personally don't like this spec like I mentioned earlier because it doesn't really give me that option to PvP with it. I mean you can, but it's not going to work out as well as the SM Ruin spec. For multi-target you want to Curse of Doom your last target to make sure that it's going to go off, while also putting Corruption on all other targets and then spamming Shadow Bolt on your focus target. As far as single target goes, you really just want to keep renewing your Corruption, while also putting out whatever curse your raid leader has decided you're going to use. Remember in vanilla there's only a 16 debuff limit, so most of the time a warlock might be putting up Curse of Elements and then just renewing Corruption while spamming Shadow Bolt. Curse of Agony is still worth having. It's pretty useful for when fighting multiple monsters and you know it's going to tick the full duration. Life Tap, of course, very important utility skill, super important for keeping your DPS up. Amplified Curse, really good for increasing your damage on the Doom or a Curse of Agony. Demonic Sacrifice basically just lets you sacrifice your pet in order to gain some sort of increase in attribute. For the rest of the guide, I'm just going to leave a list of consumables, as well as what I consider to be some of the best gear prior to raiding. Some of this gear will include Dire Maul gear, even though we're not at the Dire Maul patch, and that's just because we're almost there, and there really isn't that much gear prior to raiding Molten Core before Dire Maul came out. Dire Maul really helped bring a lot of gear into the game. Thank you though very much for watching yet another one of my videos. I really appreciate it and I hope I'm getting better at this thing. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future, or maybe if I should be streaming more. Getting some feedback will really help me out with the future of all this. But again, I just want to thank you very much for watching my video and I hope to see you again on the next one.